Well, this is a rather inauspicious start to a game, that's for sure. But whoo boy am I excited nonetheless, so welcome to Pyre, Supergiant Game's latest release. You'll probably recognize them as the developers of Bastion and Transistor. Bastion is one of my all-time favorite indie games. It's just the art, the aesthetics, the visuals. Even the story was pretty goddamn good, especially what with the whole conceit of having Rux narrate all your actions and actually have that mean something, because hey, if you fall off a cliff, he'll mention that. If you beat a bunch of enemies, he'll mention that. If you run past enemies, he'll mention that. It was just an incredibly novel game. And this, their latest release, looks to be equally novel, but in a considerably different direction. In that, it's a game whose genre seems to be difficult to place. It seems like it's half tactical RPG, like a Fire Emblem sort of thing, and half sports game. In fact, what you're doing in the story, as far as I'm aware, is basically ritualistic sport combat, so yeah, like, I've looked up trailers and pre-release footage, and it's kind of difficult to tell what's going on without having gone through the game itself, so I'm just going to get right started, and hopefully things will make sense soon enough. Yes, this is Pyre. I understand. Am I supposed to do something? I guess. I just tapped one of the keyboard keys and it seems to have progressed. That was rather odd. Your days in the downside brought slow, lonesome agony. Now, as you lie yielding to the elements, something rumbles into view. 3 shapes emerge, each clad in strange attire. How do I progress? I'm clicking with the mouse. Spacebar? No. E? Do I... Oh, okay. There seems to be a whole verb sort of thing. Or at least I can mouse over stuff to get more information. I always like that when a game has that. It's nice being able to find out about something immediately and not have it be awkwardly exposited to you. Downside. A vast purgatory into which the Commonwealth casts its convicts and its enemies. None have been known to return from the Forsaken Land. Another piece of filth expelled from the Commonwealth. See? Right on schedule. What did I tell you? You told us we would find someone alive. Someday, I said we'd find someone alive someday. Just not today, I guess, but don't be glum. You know I see you frowning underneath that mask. Looks like he's breathing. The masked wanderers presume you are male. Interact to change this. That's really cool. This is a neat mechanic. I really hope they do more with this as the game progresses. It seems she still is. Then stand aside. I shall send her to a better place. She's a she. Can you people just tell? Hang on, the markings on her rags. I think she's one of them. But look at her. She's beyond our help, and we are beyond hers. Broken, shaking, starving, probably diseased. Yeah, good luck with that there, chum. See you back at the wagon. Indeed. The day grows dim. You have at best an hour.
Listos.
Understood. I won't be long. After the others leave, the man turns toward you and begins unfastening his mask. Hello, my friend. Don't care who you are or what you did. None of that matters anymore. All of us, we're equal nothings here. You're parched, and he gives you a drink. You ache, and he binds your wounds. You hunger, and he gives you food. Little by little, it helps. Well, he's doing a lot in the span of an hour. There. Turns out you're tougher than you look. The name's Hedwyn. Now, come on. Hedwyn. He is one of the 3 masked wanderers who found you clinging to life in the downside. I wonder if these short character bios here will actually change as I go through the game and learn more about them. That'd be cool. You sense no ill intent as he helps you up and leads you to an old black wagon. Sorry, black wagon, one word. Nothing like the stately vessels that paraded Commonwealth criminals through Alabaster streets. Commonwealth. A proud country risen from the ashes of a fallen empire. Home to a multitude of ethnic groups. Founded on principles of mercy and kinship, whose exact meanings evolved through many centuries. Hedwyn beckons you to enter the wagon. The weather-beaten wagon is as much a mess inside as out. You see the masked woman and the talkative creature taking stock of ancient-looking books. I'm back. And with a guest. She loosens the clasps on her mask. You may call me Jodario. Jodario. She is the most imposing of the 3 masked wanderers who found you clinging to life. Yeah, that's for damn sure. Look at these damn horns. Holy crap. And as for myself, the small one struggles with his mask. Jodario soon assists him. Ow! That is to say, you may regard me by the name of Vuki Greentail. Vuki Greentail. He is the smallest yet loudest of the 3 masked wanderers who found you clinging to life. Such pleasantries out of the way, the horned woman then motions to the others. She glances at you sidelong as she speaks. Can she do it? Hope so. I haven't asked her yet. What? Then what are we waiting for? Hey, your sister. Nice meeting you and all, but tell me something. You know how to read or what? Well, I'm reading all your dialogue, so yes? He is asking if you are a reader. One who can derive meaning from text. Literacy has been prohibited for centuries. Those with knowledge of the old ways violate the law of the land. Well, I doubt they're gonna mind much if I violate the law of the land. In fact, I think they'd appreciate it. So I can admit it. Over time, you managed to learn something of the old ways, in spite of Commonwealth decree. I can deny it. Literacy is a serious crime. No one in her right mind would dare violate the law of the land. Or I can remain silent. Who you are or what you did to earn your sentence is no one's business but your own. I'm actually rather intrigued by this whole concept of readers and forbidden knowledge. Let's admit that we are a reader. You confirm their suspicions. There's no use trying to hide it now. Well then, glory days, because it just so happens my associates and I, we got ourselves some nice material here for someone just like you. Reader, you still live thanks to us. We ask for something modest in exchange. Open one of those books back there and tell us what it says. Sorry to put you on the spot like this, my friend. The exiles indicate the books in their possession. Well, let's have a look. Oh, we have a little adventure game style interaction here. I can examine a few objects in the environment, it looks like. Well, really only the book. Actually a few other things. Old raiments. Colorful robes and ceremonial masks adorn one of the wagon's walls. Can I examine them further? I can jiggle them, but that seems to be about it. What else is worthy of note? Side door. Beyond lies the boundless downside. Even if you could run, you wouldn't get far. Yep. A rickety ladder. It likely leads to the wagon's centrifuge, judging by the gibbering creatures up there. Closed door. The black wagon's common room must be back there, though you do not feel very welcome now. Yep. There was something else I passed over. Or was that just the rickety ladder? There we are. The gibbering creatures. Odd creatures. Hungry-looking creatures roost near some sort of attic. There's nothing you can do for them now. And that seems to be everything, so... Oh nope, one more thing. Intricate sigil. A symbol of some sort is set in the wagon's floorboards. You cannot sense its purpose. Alright, well, let's do what they ask and read that book. Strange book. One of several such heavy, ominous volumes. The exiles you met seem very interested in them. Yeah, I agree with that description of ominous. I don't like it when a book shakes when I merely touch it. You pick up one of the old and heavy volumes, bound in materials you do not recognize. Whoa, look at those 3D effects. Cutting-edge graphics. So this is the foreword. A formal welcome undersigned by the 8 scribes. You, dear reader, are an exile of the downside. Such as we, the 8 who wrote the Book of Rights. Wait, what? Such as... Okay. Such as we, the 8 who wrote the Book of Rights. That you possess it and have capacity to glean its words is testament enough to your potential. Thus we reveal a path from the forsaken place to freedom. A homecoming in glory. The stars themselves shall be as your guide. Ere the tuning of the year's first solstice. Seek the weakest... It's really hard to read this text, I'm sorry. Can I... Here we go, inspect for a closer look at this text. Thank God, okay. This is much more legible. The stars themselves shall be your guide. Ere the turning of the year's first solstice, seek the nearest longitude beneath the brightest of 8 as they align us as shown. Arrive as a triumvirate, clad in the raiments of the rights, bearing this book. Oblige the voice that tells you more. Well, it's a good thing I'm able to read this. I wonder how the plot progresses if you say you're not a reader and can't read this. Or if you choose not to say and maybe can still read it, but do so at your own behest. Hell, maybe they just kick you out and it's a non-standard game over. Who knows? That seems to be all that there is to this book. Rather brief amount of text for the giant size of it, but okay. The book describes a complicated method through which exiles can return to the Commonwealth. The words swim through your mind as headwind gets your attention. Well, friend, what does it say? But then your vision starts to fade and blur. You feel your body weaken and give out. Well, I guess Headwind didn't take as good care of me as he should have. If I'm just gonna collapse like that. Either that or it's because of the book. One of the two.
Reader! Dare you tamper with forbidden knowledge? So soon after your sentence into exile. 'Tis true what the book says. you can be free again. Perhaps not you yourself, but someone worthy of the privilege. You witness now the path toward salvation. You witness the rights, the one way to return to glory. Though in your case, I hardly think it possible. Yet, by the grace of the scribes, it is my duty to inform you anyhow.
Okay, I guess it is the book fucking with us. And our buddy's here as well. Also, I'm gonna hit escape here. I'm hoping this won't skip through any of the text. Okay, I just need to lower the audio settings a little bit. Because, the music is kind of drowning out my own thoughts. Let's see. Oh, there are subtitles. Fantastic, okay. Why are they disabled by default? Why do games do that? That's always incredibly stupid. You're gonna want subtitles in a lot of cases. And if nothing else, it's a good backup in case the audio mixing is less than stellar. Let's lower everything to half.
Good evening. Fine evening, is it not? Fine evening, is it not? A pleasant evening, no? Fine evening, is it not?
Okay, that was a good voice clip for testing the voice volume. Yeah, half should be fine for now. Let's see. Okay, I can change the difficulty in my character's gender at any time. That's actually kind of nice. But that's an option. So, heightened difficulty, reduced. Let's stick with standard for now. I can change this once I've actually tried out the gameplay and am feeling like things are too little difficult. Everything else seems fine. It worked. So it is true. Yeah, but what now? And where'd the reader go? She should be out there still. For now, we have to put our faith in her. She could abandon us. She won't. You look upon the three of them from beyond as Headwind then calls out to you. Reader, we aim to free ourselves. We will not grow old and die in the downside. And now, I swear to you, when we get out of here, you're going to come with us. But first, we need your help. Show us the way. Freedom. You focus all your mental faculties to do as Headwind asked. Okay, so it seems that your role in the narrative, the player's role...
A celestial orb falls from the heavens when the time is nigh.
My role is going to be as an overseeing guide. The great hand that guides these characters. Which, I mean, it was kind of going to be that anyway since I'm playing the game, so I like that they explicitly make that as part of the narrative. Alright, well, let's approach the celestial orb then.
Exiles conduct the rites as a triumvirate, for they must prove their trust in one another, not just in themselves.
Oh, this orb is rather hot. Let's pass it. Alright, so I hold it to pass it to Headwind, I think. No, this is Headwind. This was I'm having a hard time remembering their names. I'll get them better as we go along. Alright, so I tap it to pass it to her, and then hold it to pass it to... Oh, okay, so tap to pass it to someone based off of some circumstances, I assume. Maybe whoever's closest. And then hold to target it.
The three must act as one.
Alright, shift to sprint. Pretty standard. Your exile's abilities are shown here, so currently I only have pass and sprint. Sprint until stamina depleted. Oh, there's a stamina meter. That's what that yellow thing is, I suppose.
Now plunge into the pyre with the orb and be purified.
Gold! Almost. I'm kind of confused. I was pressing the A button, presumably what would make your character move to the left, but he just kept moving straight on to the right. I'm not sure why that's occurring. In fact, I don't seem to have the ability to alter my character's movement at all, unless— oh, okay. So, I'm not controlling them with WASD, I'm controlling them with the mouse, that makes sense. And the buttons just end up modifying my current movement. Okay.
Yes, the exiled rookie has the way of it. Whoever steps into the flame is banished for a time. His or her cohorts must make do on their own. Oh, but it is not so simple. In the rites, you shall face adversaries whose own freedom is at stake. Beware the aura that surrounds them, as they shall beware yours.
Ah, I do so love hungry games. Especially Hungry Hungry Hippos. Let's challenge them to a pleasant game.
The aura is your wrongdoing. Accept it as a part of you. Cast your aura like a stone. Correctly done. Again.
Okay, so it seems that I can banish them by just touching their own aura with my own. I'm guessing mine needs to be larger than theirs for that to work, but I can also fire it from afar and do this crazy-ass anime wave motion gun.
Just so. A glorious performance, I admit.
Well, thank you.
More than I expected from the likes of you. Grasp the orb once more.
Alright, well, the ball's on our side.
The orb absorbs the aura, then the orb quenches the flame. Now I say jump. Leap with all your strength. Thus sails the orb into the waiting flame.
Alright, and it seems that after—
snuff out the adversary's pyre, whilst yours yet burns.
Okay, narrator, I like your delivery, but you're being a little bit overbearing here. I'm trying to speak. Okay, so a lot of stuff going on here. The opposing team are at once goalies and, like, other positions on the field. You're basically responsible for everything, defending your own goalpost and retrieving the orb to throw it into the opposing teams. You have basic movement capabilities, you can run, you have a basic offensive action that you can use to take out opposing members, and you can also jump over them, which I guess you need to do to avoid being overwhelmed by their own auras. It's a fairly limited number of actions so far, although that could increase, but I can see there being a lot of complexities, especially as the enemy's AI actually gets advanced, because at the moment it's not really doing anything. Alright, well, let's have Vuki obtain this one. Yep, they're moving after me. I gotta go for their goal.
Bask in the purifying flame.
Which was easy enough. Try sprinting, okay. Intercept that, and let's run. I don't know if I need to use stamina to jump.
Onward thus to greater glory.
I didn't pay attention to if jumping consumes stamina. Alright. So Vuki seems overall to be a fair bit faster than the other characters.
Splendid.
So he seems ideal for rushing to the enemy's goal. Of course, that's not always an option available to me, as it is right here. Actually, oh, whoops, I made a mistake there, my bad. I was about to ask, is jumping only available— oh shit. Yeah, let's destroy them quickly. And my aura is gone, so I can't do much to them. Let's just destroy them one by one. That seems to be the easiest way of handling this situation. They do end up coming back, but that's fine. So, yep, once I've gotten rid of them, I'm gonna switch to a somewhat swifter character and hopefully move in. Oh dear, that R is quite large, and I could have jumped over it, but I made a mistake. It's gonna take me a while to get used to this gameplay and actually do these things reflexively. But that's what a tutorial like this is for, after all. So let's immediately switch. There we go. Took a little bit. Intercept the orb, and... oh, shit. Yeah, I realize I'm failing quite a bit here.
Beyonders banished to the last.
So it seems that Ruki's not going to come back until I complete a round, so I have to keep that in mind. I'm going to need to make use of jump here, I think, if I want to make it past. Like so.
The rite is complete. There, dear reader. Now you understand. Or do you? This was but a glimpse of that which lies ahead. I would tell you to turn back, cast down your hope. But all those such as you never listen.
During the rites, only one exile on each side is permitted to move at any time. The three must act as one. Okay, those are just loading screen gameplay tips. The others are still picking themselves up as you awaken. Well, that was something. That was our way out. So now we just follow the stars, or what? Supposedly. Jodariel, that's her name. Jodariel. I gotta remember that. Reader, come, let us regard the night. Jodariel leads you outside, where a clear night sky awaits. Still the same bio description here. We've not learned enough about them for it to possibly update, I suppose, if that is a mechanic. Now, show us before the howlers catch our scent. Where shall the rites commence? An ancient ritual competition through which the worthiest exiles regain their freedom. The 8 scribes gave their freedom so that we may yet have ours. Prayer from the Book of Rites. You gaze at the stars. Oh, I can actually move around. This is a rather pretty celestial starscape. I'm not sure how to feel about the fact that there are actual patterns in the sky. Are those surrounding whatever world this is on? Are they like actually in the stars up there? What's going on? I guess it's basically just, it's not actually there and it's just a player assist thing. Although it would be cool if that was, like, it literally in the setting, you look up and you see a pentagram around the star. Capriast, the Olden Star. Star of the Moon Stag Hunter. Those born under it are ambitious, though also discontented. I'm guessing I want to look at this big, bright one in the center. Goal, the South Star. The South Star burns bright over a massive ridge of stone, much farther than the naked eye can see. Hmm. 200 leagues due east. The Ridge of Goal. According to the stars, the next rite shall soon commence here. The fossil remains of the serpent titan slain by Golathanian yet loom over those living in its shadow.
Concilia.
Great. And we're supposed to be there when exactly? Very soon, according to the stars. You should be able to arrive in time if you make haste.
Indaratarios.
Then we had best get started. Well, this ought to be good for a few laughs at least. What do you say, Jody? Maybe I'll just call her Jody from now on, that's easier to remember. Jodariel turns to you, studying you. Reader, do not deceive us. Pray we make good use of our remaining time.
Bravo sta frati.
What she means is, glad to have you aboard, sister.
Kereamios.
We're counting on you, my friend. See you inside. Freedom. The rights are the key. It is a lot to take in. Yeah, that's for damn sure. I'm still getting used to everything this game is throwing at me. Your fellow exiles await you in the wagon. Let's join them. Hey, I get an achievement for doing all that. I feel so accomplished now. Actually, I really don't. I hate the overabundance of achievements in video games. Used to be achievements in video games were a rare thing and were usually integrated well, but now they're just kind of thrown on as a matter of course. You arrive in Downside Prairie, where the road ahead is forked. There is a lack of consensus about which way to proceed. Downside Prairie, one of Downside's only verdant regions. It only gets less hospitable as you press further north. I'm telling you, we ought to take the Northern Pass. Got an associate holed up in Hollowroot I've got to pay a visit to besides. Hollowroot. The northern route to the Ridge of Gold goes through a small exile encampment. Every so often, tempests come and scour away the huts and hovels, but they always crop back up. Fie on you, associate. Best we head to Blooming Pool and avoid attention. I like the fact that the characters here are actually shown as wearing different clothes. Like previously, you had them in the ominous robes and masks, then they take off the masks to reveal that they're, people. And then now they're just wearing casual clothes because, they don't need protection from the sands or anything. And it's nice, and I really hope they continue to change clothes throughout the game. That always makes fictional worlds feel more real and lived in when the characters actually do mundane things like, varying up their clothing. Blooming Pool. The southern route to the Ridge of Gold goes through a humid area pocked with hot springs. Runoff from the sand folds means no bathing in the springs, so they're just there to mock you. And get stuck in a bog while they're at it. The dispute continues as Headwind listens for a while.
Loriomatas?
What if the reader settled this? She marks the way, we get us there. If these rites are meant to test our faith, then we'd best learn to trust the reader's instincts on our path. No second-guessing her along the way. Can we all live with that for now? Yeah, sure. If necessary.
Pistalium.
Then it's settled. Just point the way, my friend. The stars guide us through you. You may now choose a route toward your goal at certain junctures. Well, let's weigh the options, back and forth. So I can head toward Hollowroot. Ruki knows someone here who owes him. Or I can head on to Blooming Pool, where Jodario thinks she can find rare flora. Honestly, I don't have enough information to really make a well-informed decision here, so I'm just gonna go with Jodie's decision because I like her character design a lot more. Nothing negative meant to our little fox friend here, but I mean, come on, she just got such an imposing figure. I love her. Jodario offers to show you around Blooming Pool after she notices you staring at the bogs and vegetation near the wagon. Soon something catches her eye. I notice that Jodario over here is blinking. Ah, so it seems that words blink when they offer new information. That is a very convenient and well-considered feature game. That way I don't have to constantly mouse over every important word. Jodario. She is a grim, long-time resident of the Downside, grown accustomed to surviving there. Observe. This shall pay for half our trip. You found a black bloom. It's quite valuable. Trade item. This can be sold at the slug market. Blossoms at specific times. While bitter at first, a taste of the black bloom makes the pain go away. Okay, so that wasn't nearly as important of a decision as I thought. It was just a minor step on the journey. I wonder if that will have far-reaching consequences, though, or not. I'll find out. The black wagon grinds to a stop at the base of the Ridge of Gold. The others ask you to assist with making preparations for nightfall and the commencement of the rite. Commence the rite. Page revealed. The first exile. Okay, so I can check out the black wagon before commencing the rite. Let's do that. Especially since it revealed a page. Looks like there's a lot that I can now interact with. Let's talk to Jody. After all, she seems to have something on her mind. Reader. Greentail here was just complaining how you opted not to take us up to Hollowroot. Greentail. He is an opportunistic and well-connected cur, still clinging to his once comfortable lifestyle. What? And violate our anti-second-guessing pact? Nah, I was only saying how our sister's gonna have to keep on making the tough calls. Besides, just making sure we get something to pawn off at the next slug market we find. Slug market, crude trading post found in the downside. Commonwealth contraband sometimes find its way to the downside, where it is traded and sold. And we have. Now let us focus on the task at hand. We have reached our destination and have much left to prepare before tonight. The two of them soon go about rummaging through the raiments and the books strewn about the wagon, leaving you to your own devices. Alright, just a minor character interaction there. I gotta say, this game is being more visual novel-y than I thought it would be. I knew there'd be some elements of that. Like, that's where the main Fire Emblem comparisons come in, not from the, like, the right gameplay stuff, even though it is a bit tactical. But the, character interactions that occur in between those events, where you end up building relationships and stuff. Let's see. Headwind's cooking tins. What passes for cooking supplies in the downside. Headwind does most of the cooking. So he's the chef. Headwind status. Resting up for tonight. Okay, so it's glowing to tell me that there's something new about it. Again, that's a very well-considered design decision. Greentail family portrait. A reasonable likeness of a younger Vuki, with his mother and uncle. Can I examine that any further? I mean, I can jiggle it, but not much else. Book of Rites. Yep, let's check out that new page. And those cool 3D effects. The first exile. In the words of Golathanian, the Master General. You know perhaps the thrice-cursed name of Solium Mur, the Emperor of Sa, the first exile, and my liege. This chapter concerns him and those who found him in the downside. Each of us was sent to take his life. Such was the hatred for him in and around his country. Yet, we found in Solium Mur a man transformed in body, mind, and spirit. A man deserving of much more than mercy. In time, he named us all his scribes, and he became the 8th. It is my greatest honor now to share with you his deeds. To know his story is to know the rites. So, their version of Jesus, I guess, is what I'm getting from this. Also, how do you end up being your own scribe? The whole purpose of a scribe is to have someone else write down your words so you don't have to, and that's kind of defeated by you then writing down your own words. Well, scribe probably means something else in this game's verbiage. Alright, got a little bit more lore. I'm sure that'll be more interesting as I progress. There doesn't seem to be much else I can do there, so let's commence the rite. As darkness falls, your fellow exiles stand together, clad in the raiments of the rites. The preparations are set. However, everything is still in calm. Soon they grow restless. Keep telling you there's nothing here. What a bunch of idiots we are. If we traveled all this way for nothing... I don't think we did. Look up. Pretty. Also, was that literally like the sky closing in on them, or was that just a cool screen transition?
Freedom. The stars align at last. You reach the Ridge of Goal at the appointed time, and your triumvirate is ready. Your adversaries in the rites this eve shall be the accusers. Whose ever pyre yet burns once the other is extinguished shall step closer to freedom. Now let the rites commence.
Let the games begin, I guess. The stars are aligned, and your pyre burns bright. Across from your companions appear several others also clad in raiments. Your adversaries in the rites. Everyone ready? Let's hope so. Be still, we have a visitor. The one whom she refers to steps forward. At last, the Nightwings grace us with their presence. The Nightwings, the name of a triumvirate in blue. It seems your fellow exiles have assumed their identity. I see that the reports of your demise have been exaggerated after all. Even I was beginning to think you were gone for good. Nobody moves, save for the man robed in gold, who unfastens his mask. Surprised to see old Lendl again? I trust you remember my face, though you must have assumed never to see it again after last time. Lendl. He is the apparent leader of the exile triumvirate you encountered at the Ridge of Goal. Never had I come so close to freedom, only for you to dash my hopes. Now I and the accusers shall repay that affront. The accusers, an exile triumvirate clad in gold. Their leader harbors ill will for something he thinks you did. Yeah, that's kind of the issue of taking on someone else's identity. You end up bearing their burdens as well as their accolades. He shoves his mask back on and takes position with his comrades. I like the fact that he's not even confirming that these are the people he thinks they are, like asking them to remove their masks or something. He's just that hard-bent on vengeance. It is time. From the shadows you clutch the Book of Rites and focus on the task at hand. Oh hey, actual gameplay again. I was starting to worry. Okay, I have to immediately stop moving, fair enough. Let's switch over to Jodario and destroy this boy. Then let's switch over to Ruki because he seems to be the best for traveling. Let's jump over here and booyah.
Have the accusers underestimated you?
Alright, we scored the first goal. So that seems to be a good way of going forward, is destroying these before they can do it to me. Which I kind of failed. Okay, so these obstacles do block my shots. That's good to know. I'm gonna continue doing a little bit of destruction here. Let's destroy you. I no longer have my protective aura, but it comes back quickly enough that it shouldn't be too big of an issue.
The orb is up.
And let's go! Oh, damn it. His aura came back more quickly than I thought it would. So, yeah, Jordario overall seems to be more the tanky character. She's the offensive one who's better at destroying these. Headwind seems to be a sort of middle of the road. He's good at offense and actually intercepting the ball. Luki, of course, is meant primarily for interception and scoring a goal. At least that seems to be the case so far. Let's, juke our way around this way. I only have to make it around their auras and I'm fine.
The orb engulfed in fire.
I'm sure things will get more difficult as I go along. And the opposing AI ends up getting more difficult and has more advantages. In fact, that might be the case right now. No, I shall not accept defeat from you again. Hear me, accusers. Stand your ground. Let your auras boil in rage.
It seems that you have flustered the accusers.
We've rattled them. They mean to draw us out. Then we'll just have to run more circles around them. Hey, I couldn't have stated it better myself, Mookie.
Have you any idea what that Lendl did to deserve his exile?
Oh. It seems we have another mechanic, so if they're just gonna put up their defenses like so, I could just do this. Is that gonna be intercepted? I should probably... Can I cancel? I want to cancel this, but I'm not sure if I can. Okay. Pressing shift was enough to do it. I'm guessing I have to aim in between them, that if the orb ends up coming into contact with their character models, that it's probably going to be intercepted.
A daring display. Flinging the orb into the flames like that. You elude banishment using such tricks.
Of course, in the future, I won't have such an easy time. I'll be needing to make throws on the fly. I'm kind of surprised stamina comes back. Oh, I actually made the wrong movement there. That's my bad. I'm surprised stamina comes back because you have enough movement options with it that it feels like it would be the kind of thing that would make more sense to be purely limited, and you would only have a certain amount of stamina per character per round. Maybe, though, that'll come more into play later on. When things get more difficult, I'll be glad that there is stamina regeneration. For the moment, it doesn't seem too important. Like, yeah, that dude nearly intercepted me there, but I can still end up running circles around them with a little effort. I'm still in the tutorial section, as is pretty obvious. Ooh, interesting that that gave me less points than the previous one. I'm not 100% sure why either. Oh, damn it. I was hoping to perfect that round, but it seems no such luck. He managed to throw the ball before my aura intercepted him, so that's something the AI is going to do. They're actually going to react to what I do, and I'll have to keep that in mind. I wonder if that's actually a thing, if the AI will evolve as I go along and intercept my tactics.
You have prevailed. Rejoice then in your single fleeting victory.
Well, what a way to make me feel welcome, geez, narrator. And apologize for my fragmented speaking. I'm trying to not talk over the narrator because it's quite a good delivery, and I want to make sure that it's clear for everyone to hear, but it comes in and out so much that it's going to be difficult. I'll probably get better about that as I go along, getting used to the narrator's pacing. Your deceit may have earned you a hollow victory, but know this. The accusers will not forget your wickedness, and when next we meet, you will rue the day. Well, goodbye, Lendl.
Now in the wisdom of the scribes, the exiled Jodariel has gained enlightenment. Only the enlightened can regain their freedom.
Okay, so it seems there is in fact a level up mechanic going on here, which is based off of the points you earn in matches, which is probably dependent on how well you do. if I had managed to prevent the enemy team from getting any goals, I probably would have gotten more points. I'm sure it's fine though that I failed that. We have withstood worse nights than... Wow. We have withstood worse nights than this, though few is strange. Okay, so here I have character progression. I have 2 trees it looks like. Sins of the Fallen Emperor. Rights Masteries enhancing a demon's strength and physical prowess. So yeah, confirmation that she's a demon, and not just like a goat lady or something. As he fell into the downside, Saliamur understood at last the consequences of his hedonistic reign. And then we have Boons of the First Exile. Rights Masteries enhancing a demon's spirit and sheer force of will. The fallen Emperor Mur moved past his many failings as a man, achieving selflessness in exile. So let's see what those 2 abilities are. Long Stride. After using her rush to lunge forward, Jodario can rush again right away. So by rushing it means sprinting, I guess. Press... I think that says shift. The text in the icon is small enough that it's hard to read. Yeah, that has to be shift because of the icon, the arrow on the key. So I can do sort of a double dash with her. Or I could unlock Relentless Vigor. After banishing an adversary, Jodario instantly recovers all her stamina. That actually seems it might be better given what her role seems to be. She seems to act best as a goalkeeper, as intercepting any of the enemy team and taking them down before they can actually reach the goal, due to her large aura. In which case, instantly recovering all her stamina would that actually be helpful though, because stamina does seem separate from the whole aura thing. They seem like 2 different mechanics entirely. So maybe this other one over here of being able to rush twice immediately would be more useful. I'm actually not sure. Maybe I should look at some of the latest skills and make my decision on which tree I want to go down based on that. I'm assuming I can only pick a limited number of these. Being able to get all of them would be kind of pointless for having any sort of character progression, although that's not guaranteed. When landing from a jump, Jodario briefly stuns nearby adversaries, making them drop the orb. And the ability itself is named Crushing Heal. I really like that. This is a passive aura boost. Oh wow, +2 the Pyre health. That could actually be really useful. This makes her do more damage after saluting her adversaries. Oh, this actually gives a new ability. Of course, I won't have this stuff immediately just yet, I'll need to get later level ups, but I'm considering which tree I want to go down. Maybe I should decide based on the capstone skill. Jodario can banish adversaries by flinging the orb into them. That seems incredibly useful, especially if it is as I thought and adversaries otherwise can intercept the orb if they enter its path when I throw it. That would prevent that from being an issue at all, at least when using Jody. Alternatively, any adversaries banished by Jody take 30% longer than usual to return. God, all of this stuff seems incredibly good. Let's go with the double dash.
The demon scribe bestows his favor.
Interesting that she's the only one that's leveled up so far. I wonder if that's because I used her a little bit more. I wish the points I got stayed on screen a little bit longer for each of the characters so I could have glanced at them for a little bit longer. I'm curious if she just earned more points or if she just levels up quicker. And yeah, confirmed. The max rank is 5, so presumably I can dip into both trees if I want to. But if I want to get the capstone, I have to go all the way into one tree. Sorry for spending so long on this character leveling up stuff here. I just want to make sure I don't make any decisions that I'll regret later. After the rites, the accusers disappear into the darkness. As you return to the wagon, in the still night sky you see a single star burns brighter than the rest, beckoning you onward. I feel like these loading screen tips are less than necessary. I've yet to learn anything new from them.
Smadonashe.
Well, my friends, what can I say? The rights are real, and we're in.
Fideliosta.
The Getting Out of Here Club. Next up on the agenda, keep chasing stars until we're free.
Consilta vidias.
Until we are free.
Consilta vidias.
Until we're free. Here, here. Sounds fine. Might as well be us instead of Lendl back there. Lendl the Liar. Oh, that is a great... Crap, I can't remember the word. Epigraph? something? A title, basically. I wanted to use a fancier word as I want to do, but, my brain kind of failed me there. Anyway, Lendl is the cold-mannered head of the Accusers, and bears an old grudge against the Nightwings. Anyway, guess we better start packing. As the others go about their business, Hedwyn turns to you. Hedwyn wanders the downside in search of a way to regain his freedom and return to his home.
Ligeratus.
Reader, come walk with me, while the stars are still out. You and Hedwyn walk in silence for a time, before he speaks up.
Qui sentirna.
You have questions. Come, ask away. We need you in on this for the long haul. Well, I do have quite a few questions, so do I ask why he was exiled? How he got the wagon? Why he cannot conduct the rites himself? Or no, why I can't take place in them? And what happens if I refuse to help? This seems like a less than ideal question to ask. I feel like I'd end up getting on his bad side, but he seems like the most level-headed of the three. So if I were to ask any of them this question, it would be him. Let's start from the top. Why he was exiled. You ask Hedwyn what he did to get sentenced to living in the downside. He maintains eye contact and his smile.
Subteras.
Good question, my friend. But I'm not going to answer it. We're going to have a lot of time to discuss that and many other things. Make you a deal. Read the stars for us again, and I'll tell you about it on the way. Oh, he's really not going to answer the question, or at least not just yet. You sense he speaks truly as he beckons you toward the fading dark above. Oh, I guess I could only ask one question there. I assumed I would have been able to ask multiple. I'll keep that in mind going forward. Well, let's see what our next destination is going to be. Oh, right, again, I have control. I don't know why it puts me in the bottom right here each time. Is that just because that's where I keep my cursor whenever I'm reading the dialogue, so it's not just obviously in your face? That's probably why. So this seems to be the next goal. Jomur, the Dusk Star. The Dusk Star burns bright over an ancient spring in Jomur Valley. It's a weird coal crab thing.
Kirafacitas.
That's a long way north and west. We'll see if this old wagon's fit for it. Then he turns to the others.
Peleosanta.
How's it going, Buki?
Simagwagre.
Imps fed, wheels clean.
Sertabase.
Status, Jody?
Guran salashe.
No sign of howlers. Everything is secure.
Gratiam.
Good. Then we get some rest. We're headed to the Spring of Jomur. At dawn, we're off. Spring of Jomur. The Alpha Chief hoped bathing here would cure his ailments, but it only made him itch. I like all these little details about the areas I'm going towards. So I can continue my journey, and I will do so next time. I think that's enough for now, and damn am I really interested in this game. I love it when games really try to be novel, and basically end up being hard to describe. Too many games end up going quote-unquote the easy way, not to say that making any game, even one that is similar to another, is necessarily easy, but too many fit themselves neatly into a already described genre, you know, Metroidvania, Splatformer, Action RPG, etc. I like it when games really try and break the mold and go for something truly unique. I've never seen a game that does what this does, having a sort of sport game-like gameplay, intermixed with some adventure game elements of choosing where you want to go, and visual novel stuff with the whole text dialogue, and the learning the character motivations, and making that even more interesting than it usually is by having that whole glossary within the text, which allows you to understand more than the text would necessarily say. And as I mentioned earlier, that also allows them to deliver extra information without having the characters awkwardly exposit it to each other, which is always an issue that a writer has to deal with. And that's a pretty handy way of dealing with it within the video games medium. Yeah, this has been Pyre. Look forward to next time as we continue our journey. I'm certainly looking forward to it.